What's up guys, War here, and today I want to go over the build that I'm going to be playing for Diablo 4 Season 3, Infinite Meteors. Let's do it. Okay guys, so since the developer campfire stream and all the patch notes, Meteor, Wizard, or Sorcerer is going to be a thing. It's going to be incredibly powerful, and I'm so excited as a Sorc main. So even though there's been a lot of other buffs and tweaks with the other classes, this build is going to be absolutely insane. Let's get right in here and just talk about this. Again, disclaimer. All of this is going to be theory crafted. Okay, it's all theory crafted. We don't know exactly how things are really going to shake out until we can really get in there and test it. But as you can see, meteors just continue to fall down, no problem. So first off, let me say big shout out to Rob here. This is, you know, he kind of got to it first, and it's a big shout out and is inspired by him. I tweaked some things that I really do enjoy and just really think that work better for me as a player. But again, all this is going to change, you know, Tuesday when we can get in and actually play the season. So real quick, let's go over Meteor Wizard. Okay, so this is the brand new unique or ancestral unique coming to the Wizard or the Sorcerer. I keep calling it the Wizard. I've been stuck playing Diablo 3, guys. Season 30 is actually pretty fun. But Starfall Coronet. Okay, so not only are we getting some really good max life, we're getting some cooldown, mad ranks to Meteor, and this build is going to be solely based on lucky hit chance, which is great why we have that main stat there. Meteor now has 2 charges, and with a 9.5 all the way down, so at its max you can get a 6-second cooldown charge instead of it costing mana, which means that every 6 seconds you could use, or Meteor has 2 charges, and it'll drop 3 different additional meteors, as you're going to see here. See how it drops 3 additional meteors? It's really, really awesome. Okay, and then Meteor's enchantment effect and enhancement meteor will drop 1 additional meteor. So what that means is that when we get in here and actually look at the skills, okay, so if we go check out Meteor, it says that enhanced meteor, if a cast of meteor hits 3 or more enemies, there's a 30% chance an additional meteor falls on the same location. So we got 5 dummies here. We're just going to load in. There's a 30% chance it hits again, right? Hits again, boom, just like that. Hits again, because that's how the infinite chain can go. But then Starfall Coronet says that the enhancement effect, which would drop another one, has an additional chance to drop another one. It drops an additional one. So that means it's dropping 2. So that means on the 30% chance it can drop 2 more, 2 more, and 2 more. Okay. And then the meteor has 2 charges. So you activate the skill. It's going to drop 3 additional. So we're going to drop 4 in total. 4 meteors. And then the enhancement effect has the 30% chance to drop 2 more meteors. So if I got all my fingers right back in elementary school, that's 6 meteors just automatically. Okay. It's 6 meteors automatically before the triggers start to happen. All right. So if we get back in here, and all this is built off of a lucky hit chance, okay? Modifiers, if it hits 3 or more, it's 30% chance. But here is where the lucky hit stuff comes in. So we're going to go in and look at meteor enhancement, okay? So a lucky hit chance, an 8% chance for a meteor to fall on the enemy. Okay, that's the enhancement modifier. So as we're just going, anything with lucky hit, which is why we have firewall up at a whopping 37%, and then 50% chance with meteor. Now guys, I don't have my gear. This is all my fireball gear. So this isn't even geared towards lucky hit, and we're already at 50%. You can get this up to about 70%. Roughly around 70, almost 80% lucky hit chance if you really just get your gear modded out really, really well. So then your lucky hit chance just infinitely spawns these. I mean, you just spawn infinite meteors. Now, the reason that we have firewall is because of the increased lucky hit chance, right? But firewall's enhancement, which is what we put here, has a 25% chance on the lucky hit to deal burning damage. Now, the burning damage is what's going to have our lucky hit chance on normal firewall. At 37%, you can get this upwards to like 60%. Has a chance for a lucky hit chance to hit, which means that a meteor can also fall on a firewall hit, which is why we're able to just kind of blast through this. Again, when you're looking at Starfall Coronet, we're going to go back here, right? We're going to go back and just look. While it's going through and blasting, see how it dropped 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of those meteors have a chance to spawn 2 additional meteors on top of that, and the chain can just keep going, going, and going. I think this helmet is going to be extremely powerful for the Sorcs. I talked about this in the last video that we made, guys, about the patch notes, but I'm pretty sure Blizzard is leaning towards fire Sorcs this season. Last season we had lightning or electric Sorcs or lightning Sorcs, charged Sorcs. Season 1 we had all ice, right? It was ice, shards, blizzard, all that stuff. And not that those aren't powerful builds, but it just seems like the theme is really changing here for the Sorc as the seasons go on. So we're really focused on fire this season. And just looking at the gameplay footage, like, it just looks so awesome. Okay, good, we're at 1080. It doesn't look like 1080, but we're at 1080. Let's just make sure it's there. It doesn't look like 1080, but it is. But yeah, just all those meteor Sorc is going to be awesome. Now, I will say this before we get into the little like crafting guide, because we kind of just like went through and just added some stuff that I think would work, and we're going to talk about some other things and gear choices and etc., even with the seasonal theme with your pet. But I want to make another disclaimer. Not only is this just all theory craft, but why does Starfall Coronet have to be in a helm? Why? There's so many good helmets. So many good helmets for Diablo characters just in general. So many good ones. Why is it in a helm? Why isn't it an amulet or gloves? Why isn't it that? Or even boots, for Christ's sake. But an amulet or a helm piece would have been, or amulet or gloves would have been huge. Kind of sucks that it's here. That means we can't use a Shaco. That means we can't use a God Slayer. We can't use, you know, all these other helmets. What is it? The other Uber Uniques. I don't remember what they are because I don't ever use them. But I still think the build is going to be insanely strong. But it just kind of sucks it's a helmet. Okay, so real quick, let's go over, and I just want to talk about. Let me log into this. Let's just talk about real quick. Let me come here, and I just want to kind of show you guys my little shindig here. All right. So this is roughly kind of what an end game element is going to look like. We're doing Starfall, of course, with remnants, because we are really focusing on aspects of control, because we're going to be able to immobilize a lot of enemies, because Meteor is going to just immobilize everything. I kind of tested out like the 30% increase, you know, falling rate of, you know, Meteor, but it didn't really matter in the end. I'd rather have the immobilize just to help trigger aspect of control, and then Remnant also stuns them, which is aspect of control. So it just really gives us a lot of control on the map, since the build is going to be a little bit different. Of course, to bolts, and then we're going the Esu route, right? So critical strikes give us more movement speed, which is great. Conceded, we're always going to have a barrier for more damage. Storm Swell, this one, this is probably your biggest flex spot, okay? Because we're not really sure how often and how well we're going to be able to make enemies vulnerable this season. They did give us the new lightning spear improvements to make enemies more vulnerable, but as long as we can do that, then Storm Swell definitely goes here. Otherwise, you can swap this out for other things. Elementalist, you could swap this out for another damage one. You could probably do Edge Masters, anything like that, right? Of course, Tal Rasha's, because Tal Rasha's Meteors is back, especially from Diablo 3. I love it. I'm choosing Prodigies because I don't know how our mana is going to be. I mean, this costs 30 a piece. So if you're kind of like spamming it, you're going to go through your mana pretty quick on top of like Firewall. So I'd rather have Prodigies in here using a cooldown, right? With all our skills to be able to, you know, move spam, right? Move spam and not necessarily worry about it. So that's kind of why that's there. Then we got 3 curses for even more crit damage by of Meteor and Fireball. And then, of course, yeah. So we're doing Sapphires in there for more crit damage against crowd control enemies, because everything is going to be crowd controlled. Of course, Rubies for more life. And then Skulls for jewelry, for armor right now, because armor is where probably our weakest point is. And you notice that we don't have Disobedience in here. So our armor is going to be the weakest. So we definitely got jewelry in there. As far as the skill tree, guys, this is just rough. We have just the 2 points in here. Again, we're probably never going to have to use a basic skill in any of this. We're going to come up and take Devastation, Elemental Dominance. We're taking our defensive skills, obviously. We're taking all the precision just to get as much lucky hit as possible. Shields with Mana Shield and Protection. Okay, then we have increased damage with Fire, Inner Flames, and Devouring Blaze. Of course, we max out Meteor to wizards. You can try mages, but this is just better for the immobilize. Of course, firewall, you can put more points here if you would like, because this is kind of going to be like a continuous skill that you're going to use, and then you're just going to kind of drop bombs here. But definitely wizards for mana regen. You don't really need the excessive burning, but and then of course Inferno, just top off all of our flame stuff. Fiery Surge, Endless Prior, Warmth, pretty standard. And then we're doing Essus here for just even more crit, right? The more fire sources that we have, the more damage that we're going to do, okay? This is just a rough one to do. Now, a lot of people are going to be asking, well, why isn't Firebolt in your enchantments? We don't need it because Firewall is just going to burn everything. So we're going to be pretty mana hungry here. But with that said, let's go over the construct stones. I was looking over all these and just seeing, I'm actually really glad I missed this in the last video, but there's some really good ones like resource support here that actually give some good bonuses to us as the player, as opposed to just like buffing the companion. So the player gains 15 primary resource when a supported skill first deals damage, which would be Firefly in this case. Okay, deploy a small construct that lands and targets explode 3 times, dealing more damage. You can kind of go through whatever. None of these are super like themed. There is a few that do lightning damage, a few that, like, you know, this is fire damage. You could do focus fire here. You can kind of just play around with this. You could do focus fire. It doesn't, we don't really know how strong these are going to be, but you could do any one of these just for even more fire damage, which is great. Gripping support, damage and effects done by supporting skills, pull them in. This is actually really good. Think of it as like the druids aspect from season 2, where it pulls everything in, right, in the new ring. So it pulls everything in, which is great. We drop meteors on them, easy kills, super cool there. Of course, Evernight, this is probably going to be the most sought after tuning unique for your companion, because it's a Shaco, right? It's going to give you 4 skills to all of your plus 4 to all of your skills for 2 seconds. Super good. The supported skill grants this. This is awesome. And when we get into our other ones, we got Tempest here. This is just going to be basically a lightning bolt that just kind of bounces around, deals damage to everything. If it kills enemy, it bounces again. We got damage support, so it does more damage, which is really cool. But the registered damage explodes at 50% effectiveness of fire damage when it dies, which is pretty cool. We're a fire themed base build. Then we got arcing, which just hits more enemies, which is great because it's kind of like a chain lightning. And then we got tactical, which is decrease the cooldown of the supported skill, so it happens more often. So again, you can get in here and kind of just play with this stuff, but I'm really kind of curious to see more of the support that's going to come to the character. I was actually expecting basically none to happen. It would just be all buffs to the companion, but there's actually some pretty good ones here that help us out. So I might be taking back. I might be eating a lot of my words from the last couple videos, guys. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's the skills, guys. That's kind of like the little build that we have there, which I think is just super cool. It's super fun, man. You got just Tal Rasha Meteors, which is something that we really wanted. There was Meteors last season. It just wasn't super effective, and it was kind of a drag in that essence. So yeah, I'm going to be playing Sorc. I'm starting with Sorc. I'm going to be doing nothing but Meteors and just rocking all this. And this build is actually really great because you're going to be able to build right into like Firewall as your leveling build if you want. And this just goes right into it perfectly. So if you want to get used to like playing the build and playing Firewall, then you can do that and then just cast Meteors as a secondary and just destroy everything with Firewall. It's pretty awesome. Then we got the vulnerable. It's going to be a really, really strong build. So guys, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the new Meteor build that's going to be coming. Obviously, again, guys, this is all theory crafted. Me, my community on Discord, chat, while we're live streaming. This is all just theory crafting. So again, a lot of it's probably going to change once we get in there and can really test some things out. But in theory, just thinking about it, having just hundreds and hundreds, maybe not hundreds, that's an exaggeration, but so many meteors just falling at enemies and just clearing things so quickly, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, stay gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.